Okay, let's start our jewelry section by learning how to make a pendant. Once you can do this, you can do just about anything. We're going to start with our tools. Round nose pliers, regular long nose pliers, some crimping pliers, some curved nosed pliers, and also a good pair of wire cutters. Of course, you'll also need a piece of sea glass to work with, and then I like magnifying glasses. Next, we'll have also gold and silver, or gold or silver craft wire, and then some jump rings. And, just for fun, how about a double espresso and some bittersweet chocolate? Okay, let's get started. For this pendant, I'm going to use a pretty teal blue color, and I think I want it with silver. So I'm going to cut about 8 to 10 inches worth of wire. Now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make this little eye, and this is where the jump ring is going to go when we're finished. Simply take your wire, put the ends together, and then just run your fingers up and make a little crimp in the center of the wire. Take your round nose pliers, and we're just going to use the plier nose as a mold, kind of like wrapping a string around your finger. We're just going to take one wire, hold the other one, and wrap it once around the plier nose, and then pull it off and pinch it together, and you should have a nice little eyelet that looks like this. Next, we make what we call either the stem or the backbone, and what we can do is we can either use the nose of the plier, hold the wire, and twist, or you can take it off the nose of the plier, hold it in your fingers, and twist it between your thumb and your forefinger. Whichever is more comfortable for you, what you want to do is twist that the length of your piece of sea glass. Our next step is to place the piece of sea glass how you want somebody to see it. Now you want a little bit of stem, about 1/4 of an inch, sticking up above the top because we're going to tie up to that. Now let me show you. If I start by crossing my wires, my bottom will look like that. Okay? Now, if I start by going straight up the sides on my piece of sea glass, my beginning piece will look like that. Your choice. Okay? Whichever way you decide to wrap it, start by using one wire at a time. And the reason why we use one wire at a time is because then you can keep it nice and taut. Bring it around as many times as you want, and then finally up to the top of that little stem and go nice and tight around that stem. And this is when I like to use the magnifying glasses because I can see better. So we make what I call a little bird's nest at the top, which means we wrap it around about 3 to 5 times. That way, when you cut the wire, you can tuck the sharp wire into that little bird's nest, and you won't have any little sharp edges sticking out. And the first wrap looks like so. Now do the second, and we usually go in the opposite direction unless you want parallel lines, going the other way. And I can either make a cross or I can make them parallel. This time I decide to make it parallel. Again, going up to the top and then around and around and around 3 or 4 times, nice and tight, and then tuck that wire in. Be careful when it's at this point because it can poke you and it is needle sharp. So take that sharp end and tuck it into that little bird's nest that you've created in the top, and pinch it, and then check it with your fingers and make sure that it's okay. If it's still too long, cut it off, and then go again and tuck that sharp part. And here's where I use the round nose pliers to kind of go around and around and fold that in. And then your piece looks like so. Now, to use a jump ring, simply take the jump ring, and if you use 2 pairs of pliers, it's much easier. Sometimes you can use your fingers if they're not too thick. But twist the jump ring sideways to open it up. Do not pull it apart. If you pull it apart, sometimes it will not go back together again. And then twist it closed. And once you've done that, now you can slip it onto a necklace or a charm bracelet or whatever. And there you have it, a pendant with sea glass that you've made yourself. And now you're ready to make earrings.